You're so welcome, because we really want to know how we can make money with the ultrafast lasers.
I'll tell you all about it. Good morning, everyone. Well, I guess I should start with a sound. Usually that's quite efficient at waking people up. So I hope that you're all, that I have your full attention for this presentation. So indeed, I will make a presentation that's entitled Making Money with Ultrafast Lasers. So to follow the traditional scope, the template that we were asked to use, I will start with a problem and the solution that we came up with to solve this problem. I will also explain how I4MS helped solve this problem and produce a successful project. And I will also describe the impact of this project. So first of all, I will start by presenting the different partners that were involved in this project. The first partner is Monnaie de Paris. This was the end user. This is actually the oldest institution in France. It was created in 864, quite old. And it's 100% funded by the French government, by the French state. It employs 500 people. Most of them are based in Paris. Some of them are based in Pessac, near Bordeaux, in the southwest of France. And they make coins. They make 1.5 billion coins per year, both currency coins that we all have in our pocket, and I'm not talking about the smartphone, but also collection coins, because they're quite active in this field. The other partner is Amplitude System. This is one of the leading manufacturer of ultrafast lasers. We saw in the previous presentation picosecond lasers. Here we're talking about femtosecond lasers. Just to explain a little bit, femtosecond is the duration of the pulses. And as I think it was explained in the previous talk, these pulses are so short that they don't let the material heat up. And this allows for very precise micro machining. Femtosecond is 10 to the minus 15 seconds, so it's extremely short and certainly one of the shortest events that man can create. So this company is very active in the scientific field, in the medical field, and as well as in the industrial market. They employ about 300 people, also based in France, in Bordeaux. And the third partner is Alphanov, the organization I belong to. This is a technology center located in Bordeaux. It is specialized in optics and lasers and acts as a technology amplifier, making the link between the academic research and the industrial world. We employ about 50 people, and we are specialized in technology transfer. We help increase the TRL level of components, laser-based components. So we transfer to the technology based on laser-based products and processes. And we are all part of this Lashare project, beautifully coordinated by Ulrich Tommensen, who is here with Fraunhofer ILT. And I think we had a good glimpse of the different aspects of this project earlier. This is one laser-based equipment assessment that I will present here. So the problem. Believe it or not, although Monnaie de Paris is a public institution, it's facing much of the problems that private organizations are facing. They're facing competition, they want to be more competitive, they want to gain market share, and when they first came to us, they were really speaking as if they were a purely private company asking us to improve their competitiveness. And they stressed the point that there is an increasing demand for innovative embossing tools. This is how they produce the coins. They use these tools and they stamp on the coins, and this is how it's done. Today there are limitations in this process. Well, first of all, you can more or less produce 3 shades of gray, not as fun as 50 shades of gray, but this is a limiting factor. You also get some black coloration coming from the thermal effects that are usually obtained with typical lasers, nanosecond lasers, so longer pulses. And this needs further processing, which increases the production time, and this is a very cumbersome process. The state-of-the-art also has the bad tendency to produce steps and weaving effects, which are then visible on the coins, and you want them to be as perfect as possible. This is not something you want to. And more than anything, you see this bad effect at the end of the process. So then you have to start all over again and discard the produced parts. And all in all, the current state of the art is producing time which are very long, more than 10 hours, to produce one embossing tool. So there was a real challenge in overcoming this problem. How did we do that? Thanks to lasers, femtosecond lasers. So the idea was to develop an ultra-fast laser that could improve the engraving process of the embossing tool. What does it mean to improve? To remove the thermal effects that I mentioned that are detrimental to the production process, to obtain new aesthetic effects, new frosting effects on the surface of the coins, especially important for the collection coin activity of Monnaie de Paris, and overall to improve the process speed and quality. So the method that we used is that we took the femtosecond lasers from Amplitude System, and we, Alphanov, the technology center that was involved in this project, we developed a recipe to engrave very fine lines on the surface of the embossing tool. You have a picture of these lines right there. So you see that probably the whole width of this sample is more or less the width of a piece of hair. So this is very, very small features that we're talking about. And when you do so, you have a very nice optical phenomenon that happens, which is called optical interference. And you see these sort of holographic colors. You see that on this picture. We'll see better pictures of it. You see holographic colors, which are very attractive and very interesting for collection coin activity. The goal was also to avoid these thermal effects, to allow a very precise engraving process, micron scale resolution, which we need for these features. The idea was to engrave these gratings on the embossing tool and then to replicate these features on the produced coins, because you don't want to do that on each and every coin. You want to have a fast stamping process to do so. So yeah, the result is a new laser-based process used here for coin production, but we have many other ideas how to exploit this process. The effect can be applied on precious metals, gold, silver, which are typically used in this industry. We achieved process times more than 5 times faster than the current process, and with improved quality. And we were able to demonstrate that this process was able to produce more than 500 silvery coins without any quality variation with one embossing tool. See, these features are so fine and so delicate. One of the concerns was that after a few stamping processes, they will fade and you will lose the effect. The good news is that it doesn't happen so often, and we can produce a lot of coins before it happens. So yeah, this is an example of the produced coins, and one thing I want to emphasize here is that the colors that you see, this is actually supposed to replicate or represent some stained glass window from an old church, I think Notre Dame or something. The colors that you see are actually not pigments or paint. This is really coming from the silver, which when arranged in a certain shape at the micron scale produces these very interesting colors. We also explored deep engraving, because for some of the collection coins, this is not about color, this is about having some really deep surface rendering. This is done usually with nanosecond lasers, and here the challenge is to be able to remove a lot of material because these engravings are so deep. Yeah, you need to remove a lot of metal, but again you have a long process and with quality issues. So we applied the femtosecond process, and we were able to obtain very similar, in fact with improved quality embossing tools, and with chromium plating. This is what you get. So this is the embossing tool that you get to then replicate on the coins. So how did I4MS help? Well, first of all, it helped companies that are located within a kilometer area to work together. So sometimes this is what it takes. It takes a European project for companies which are so close to one another to work together. But more seriously, the I4MS scheme helped generate innovation in a collaborative approach. We were part of a very interesting consortium composed of competence centers located throughout Europe with very interesting cross-sectional activities. It helped make the link between technology suppliers, laser technology suppliers, and end users through technology centers. And believe me, these people don't always speak the same language. And it helped create a community of competence to fulfill the challenges that all of the partners had to fulfill. And last but not least, of course, it also supplied funding through the project, which was obviously very important. What about the impact? What was the impact for the different partners? Well, Amplitude Systems was able to launch a new product, a new ultrafast product. This represents more or less 20 million euros in turnover accumulated over the coming 3 to 5 years, and they've already started selling these lasers. And in line with this business, something like 30 jobs will be expected for qualified laser specialists. Alphanov, the technology center that I represent, was able to develop a new competence in laser processing. We sell these competence as services to the industry, and this will represent, we expect, something like 10% increase in our turnover through this activity. And of course, for Monet de Paris, the end user, it's a little bit more difficult to put precise figures on the impact for this organization, but they were able to obtain new visual effects, giving them a competitive advantage on the collection coin segment. They were able to demonstrate five-time improvements on process time, which also gives us a strong advantage with respect to their competitive environment. Exploitation plan. What do we plan for the next exploitation plan? We developed this process that can be applied to many other applications than just coin making. And we've already started applying it to jewelry. We are in contact with a famous jeweler that we've already demonstrated that it can bring added value to their jewels. Anti-counterfeiting markings and many other applications. And they're already generating turnover in the form of proof of feasibility and proof of concepts. More or less, we are exploring new functions besides the color functions and the deep engraving. We are developing processes to induce super hydrophobic effects on surfaces and antibacterial surfaces as well. And by the way, we have applied for funding through a new project called the Pilatex project. If there are any commissioners in the room, I will ask for your support. This is a very interesting project. And we are already discussing technology transfer within the partners and Monet de Paris to apply this project in their production facilities. And with this, I thank you for your attention. And I guess if we have time, I'm open for questions. Thank you.
To be honest, we don't have time now for questions.